Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? Thank y'all so much for watching another episode of Beyond the Hustle. I am your host, your MC, Daniel Tadamy, and joining me tonight for this conversation, Mr. Serial Entrepreneur himself, as always, Paul Renee Jr. Y'all clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Applause is all
What's up,
around.
Daniel?
Applause is all around. What is going on, Paul? What is
Thanks,
going
Daniel.
on?
What's nothing much, brother? How are you, man? How was your week?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right, man. Just chilling, getting through it, man. How's the week been going for you, bro?
Man, it's been going great. And today, Daniel, is a special day.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
really is. As you
yeah,
can see,
yeah.
I'm dressed dapper because it is a special day.
You
Got
dapper
to
to the
you
T.
know you know what day it is, right? You know why it's a special day, Daniel?
Why is it a special day, Paul?
Because it's our third episode. All right, this is episode 3. We finally made it to 3 episodes. A pat on the back, right?
We
It's a
made it to
big deal.
episode 3. Hey, the big 3, dude. And dude, getting to 5 is crazy, bro. Getting to 5 episodes is crazy, bro. 5
Look, I
episodes is crazy.
couldn't be here without you, man. You the maestro behind everything. All
I
right, and
appreciate it,
people do
bro.
not know what goes on behind the scenes, and that's the main thing.
too too
I
much,
swear.
man. Too much goes in it. But I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'm tagging you in it right now, Paul, so you can see the tag on Facebook. So we're live on
Okay.
Facebook right now, y'all. We're also live on our YouTube page. So make sure you go on over to Beyond the Hustle on YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube. All right, we're gonna be dropping some stuff there as well. So just make sure you guys go check it out. As always, tax season is coming up. You're gonna want to hit up the man himself, Paul Renee Jr., taxmoney123.com, and get your finances and your taxes straightened out. And if you want to produce something like this, all right, or anything of that nature, make sure you reach out to tadamyproductions.com. Set up a free consultation with us. We can get you squared away. All right, man. Uh, so do you want to talk about the call we just had, Paul?
Special day, Daniel. Daniel, it's been a special day. Not only is it our third episode, man, it's got me out here wearing my get money suit, right? But we got to be feeling special, man, because we already attracting attention. We got networks hitting us up,
Yeah,
asking us if we could be a part of their network because they hear our message
yeah.
and everything, man. But man, give me a break. What's up with these sales pitches, though? For real.
I told you, man. They need to take lessons from. They need to take lessons from Paul himself, bro. They got to
Good
hit up.
God, man! Like I was falling asleep there. I don't know how you was doing it. I don't know how you was doing it. I was falling asleep. 45 minutes. I was being generous.
Yeah,
I got to the
yeah,
point where I was just like, I can't take this past 45 minutes, man. I'm gonna cut this
yeah.
out. But man, 45 minutes of nonstop talking.
Sales call. You want to know something? Like I said in the meeting, I I've been through those network conversations and things before. So that's why when you heard there was I said, bro, how much, you know what I'm saying? What's it gonna take for us to, because I already knew what was coming. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
yo, just get to it. Um, I've been through it before. And then I was, yeah, I'm on the computer, so I was doing other stuff, Paul. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nah, I bet you were straight up because we do. You do a lot behind the scenes, but I was paying
Yeah.
attention because I like
Yeah.
whenever telemarketers and people call and they catch me, like if they don't catch me on the phone, like if I can tell the number is a telemarketer or a spam call, I'll
Yeah.
hang up.
Yeah.
But I like hearing what they have to say sometimes, just so I can hear how they're coming across with their sales pitch, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and I critique it, in a sense. But there's some people who really do have some good sales pitches, and they hit you up on the phone, even though I might not be interested in it. And I'll tell them, I'm like,
Yeah.
man, you're doing a really good job at your approach, but I'm just not interested at this time because it does take a lot of courage and guts and skills, man, to get people interested in hearing you out on the phone. And man. But today, I was being generous, man. I really wanted to see where the network that was trying to get us to jump on board. I wanted to
Yeah.
see if they had something that would benefit the both of us, but you know, it is what it is. It was just a sales pitch, to get us on there. But
Yeah.
it was a
And
beautiful platform, Daniel. Don't you agree?
yeah,
Beautiful
yeah,
platform.
yeah. A really great platform. And I'm not gonna lie, probably one of the, not probably, the best, network platform I've seen set up in the way that they are, like the way that they are set up. One of the best
Yeah,
ones, well, the best one I've seen to date. I have
it
not
was
seen
amazing.
one set up like that before, and it was amazing. So in that vein of the marketing pitch, right? Would you say short and sweet is better to the point, or do you want to try to remain informative when you're doing a sales pitch? Let's talk about that for a second.
Always short and sweet. To get to the point. What's that acronym? KISS. The
Keep it simple,
acronym
stupid.
KISS. Yeah, that's it. Keep it simple, stupid. Here's what we got to offer. This is what's gonna take. Blah, blah, blah. And how do you have? Then let's talk. Get the listen to what your prospects have to say, because the whole point in sales is providing a service that answers a person's needs, right?
Right.
And if you're not going to be listening to what a person has to say, how are you going to be able to solve their problems, to solve their needs?
Mm,
You're not going to do that by, well, what, we only have one mouth, two ears, right? For a reason is
yeah.
to listen twice as hard than we do speak. You're not going to be able to solve our problems with just talking for 45 minutes straight.
you,
Like, oh man, at
dude,
least
you
make
are.
us laugh or something. Like, good lord, this is
You,
like it's a stand-up
you.
routine or something, man. But
It's funny. You harp on that. You harp on that 45 minutes so tough, bro.
yeah,
um. Uh. So in episode 3, what we're gonna talk about today, or tonight, right? Rather, and make sure y'all get into the comments while we're having this conversation, because we want to talk about things that you guys want to hear, and we want to hear from you, right? We want to hear your viewpoint. You know, the first rule of business is what, Paul?
first rule of business, rule number one of business, and if you're not really doing it, um, you're not in business. First
Mm,
rule of business is do it, make that money.
yeah, make money. The first rule of business is make money, and that's the hardest thing to do, though. I,
It can
I,
be.
I don't know. Why do you think that's the hardest thing for a business to do? Monetize themselves.
Okay. Well, besides the sales aspect, right? Because
Right.
that's a factor. A lot of people don't want to get into the sales portion of it. But before even the sales process, majority of people who aspire to be entrepreneurs waste time trying to get things started or get things in line for them to be able to start. For example, they say, I can't start my business yet. I can't start making money yet because I don't have it in an LLC yet. Or I don't have um, a brick and mortar location, so I can't. I'm looking for a location, right? Or I don't have the money. Always the one of the main factors. I don't have the money. I hear people always talking about I'm gonna get a loan to start my business, or should I take out of my IRA, or benefits so I could pay down my credit card so I can get another loan to fund my business. It's like, no, man. There's a lot of wrong, a lot of factors, different factors can be at play to stop people from starting their venture. Um, But a lot of people just sit and try to soak up as much knowledge, read a lot of books, do audio books, watch a lot of videos, but they don't want to hit the ground running and to do the work that's required for their business to start off. They'll tell you X, Y, and Z about it and everything about what it takes to start, but they never take that first initial step to start.
Yeah, and the first step is always the hardest. It's going to be the biggest step that you do make. And I think it's the most important because the way it initiates momentum. And I think that we don't, sometimes as entrepreneurs, as people, we don't understand how important having momentum is and what it takes to gain momentum. Momentum, you can get it when you start, right? When you're excited and happy about something. It's just like when we were talking about even starting this podcast. Yeah. What we were able to do with that momentum and to remain excited, because I didn't want us to lose the momentum. I knew what it was going to take for us to get into it due to the talk show, to sit down. So I kind of had an idea. I didn't want to lose that momentum, right? I wanted to profit off of that momentum in the sense of whether it was gaining exposure, whether it was reaching a new audience and deciding how we were going to do what we were going to do. So I wanted to use that momentum, right? If we did not take that first step though, Paul, if you don't take that first step when it comes to finding a way to monetize or make money from what you do, then you won't have that momentum. And with gaining momentum, it may take some no's, it may take some closed doors, it may take those type of things in order to get that momentum. And you can't be afraid of that. You can't be afraid of the no. You can't be afraid of the roadblocks.
Entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, we are the doers, man. We'll do it, see it doesn't work, dissolve it, start something else, right? But we get that excitement of starting businesses. Just watching how you come up with an idea within your head and then it manifests into the real world. That's what we get a kickoff out of, man. It's that doing. And a lot of people just don't want to do what it takes to do. They rather read a book about it, you know, and then have to read another book about it.
Nah, it's not enough. It's not enough to just gain information. It's not enough to just learn it if you're not going to apply it. What's the point of learning something? What's the point of getting into something new, learning new information, if you're not going to do something with it? That's just a waste. So what drives you as an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur that you are? What drives you? What gets you going?
What drives me is filling in a demand that the market asks for, is being able to serve people. That's what drives me. You know, I've been blessed to get a good positive outlook, you know, positive results, like for example, taxes. When it comes down to it, you know, during tax season, I get to put money in people's pocket. You know, that's great. Like, who else do you know puts money in your pocket all the time, right? So it has that self-gratification, man, of knowing that I'm helping people. So that's what's my driving factor is. And a lot of entrepreneurs, they just try to find something in the market that people want and people need, and then they go out and help them, and you get paid good money for being able to provide that service. So yeah, helping people, my relations with people, being able to relate with people and solve their problems, man. There's nothing else like it. And then you'll find out people will tend to call you for problems that's not even in your skill set. Just because you know how to solve problems, they're just going to want to keep calling you to see if you can solve this problem. Like, hey, maybe you can solve this problem, or can you help me find someone who can solve the problem? It's just now you become part of that person's process to get things done in an effective manner, right? Yeah. Especially if you're good at what you're doing and you like doing what you're doing and you give the gold standard all the time, people will come back.
Yeah. No, that's a dope point, because even for what it is that I do, what fuels me and what keeps me happy, what adds to my passion is seeing the results. A lot of times the work that we do, that we put in, we might not necessarily see that joy in that for too long, because sometimes things can get boring, they can get mundane. So that's why you got to try to find a way to spice certain things up. right? You got to try to find
Yeah.
the new, right? You know, it's like getting a new toy, or it's like getting, for me, it's like getting a new piece of technology or figuring out something new in the technology space. I get excited about that. Um, so the same thing goes into what we do, but seeing someone happy, seeing a client happy with what you do, happy with what you deliver to them, getting the result out of what they hired you for, man, that does bring a lot of joy. And it does
Look,
make me happy.
you want to get out of a depression. You want to get out of a sluggish mode. You're sad. You're unhappy. Help someone else out.
Mm-hmm.
Make someone else sad. You know
Big,
that's gonna brighten up your day big time, and then get paid for it.
yeah, then get then get paid for the dope thing, dude. Did you I put in our notes. I don't know if you saw it yet. I put something in our notes, and it was something that I hadn't done much research in this. So y'all are watching. I have not done much research into this. We're just gonna talk about this just from a topic standpoint. Um, but
Yeah,
there
we
was a
have
post I
house.
saw about Elon Musk, and Elon Musk, um, he is currently working on a new version of robots that can carry your baby for 9 months while you go about work and do all these type of things. Um, so the parents, they bring in their sperm and the eggs, they fertilize
Mhm.
the egg and allow it to grow inside the robot for 9 months. And they're saying this is going to reduce the number of women that die uh, during delivery. Did you hear about
Yeah,
that? Or did you see that?
that type of idea has been around for a long time about
Yeah.
like these pods. Yeah, these pods that can basically incubate babies and birth them without the woman having to go through, uh, you know, delivering the baby. It's some
Mm-hmm.
pods, but man, if you're wondering where the aliens are, there you go. That's how it starts right there, man. And then they have to travel back in time, and you see them flying in the skies because we start doing crazy things like this, man, where we just creating babies out of robots, man. Yeah, what do you think is gonna happen? It's an
Dog,
abomination.
that's
But
that's
you know,
crazy.
hey, maybe the aliens that we see now are some humanoid, robotic fused people that know all the limits of the earth and
Yeah.
the universe, and they get to travel through dimensions and times and all that because they're connected to a supercomputer and everything. Maybe that's what the case is. I'm not sure, but I can see that how it can get started, and that's how you do it right there,
Yeah.
like the freaking Matrix, like the Matrix and stuff, man. When you really think about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I gotta research this more and see if there's any truth to it first off. But I do know this would be crazy. I don't know how you would do that though, because you would constantly have to have something connected to that baby, because the umbilical cord, like, where are you gonna get that from? Is that's what it's getting all its nutrients and things from. So I don't know. And then the placenta, can you fabricate that? I don't know. I have a lot of
Man,
questions.
they used to be cloning people. They probably still are cloning people. That's how is that happening, right? That's in some type of laboratory. Look, it got to the point where they had to make a rule not to clone people and stuff, and you have to follow this rule. So it's illegal to make clones because somebody used to make clones, and apparently, right, in order for it to be illegal. So look, hey, and in other countries it's probably not even illegal. Who knows? Because I don't know all the other country laws, but
Yeah.
there's weird things out there that's going on, man, that we're not exposed to because all they're pumping in our head is the celebrities and athletes on TV. They're not letting us know what's out there really,
That's true.
but that's it.
That is true. That is true. Charles says, first rule of business, make money. Drum roll. Do I have a drum roll?
You should.
Yay!
Maestro.
First rule.
You know about it, Charles. That's what it's about, man. It's
Yeah.
all about making that money. Why are you? If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make
Doesn't make
sense,
sense.
right? So
Yeah.
but again, it doesn't always happen that way. We like to find out if it does, if it's gonna make money, if it's gonna generate money. Entrepreneurs like to take those type of risks. Now, the savvy, the old, the wise, the experienced entrepreneur likes to invest in things that they know is gonna create a profit. They like to invest in a field that they are very knowledgeable about because they know what the market's like, the cost analysis, the expenses that's gonna be associated with the cost, and then cutting out of the profit and whatnot. You always want to make the most maximum profit, and you want to know how much how much time it's going to take to make that return on your investment. But starting off entrepreneur, or just that entrepreneur. I know a lot of entrepreneurs who are successful in their fields, and they generate enough money to gamble. They like to gamble, and whether it's stock market or startup businesses, you get it's a gamble in some aspects. But you need to make the money in order to gamble. So they have successful businesses. But if the business that they're gambling on isn't making money, then I'm gonna dissolve it and move on to something else. But for that person that isn't wise or savvy in business and want to know, hey, what's it gonna take, or what should I do? What's the first step in this business that I have? It's make money. It's make money off of it, right? So.
At what point do you, because you brought us something dope, you said dissolve, the smart, savvy, they dissolve and get out of there. At what point do you dissolve? Because that could be a hard thing to do.
When it's eating up your money, you want to make money instantly. You don't want to get involved in something like, for example, right? A person will say, I'm a hairstylist, okay? Yeah. For example, they feel like they have skills in hairstyling because they, can do braids on their kids' hair or whatever, or cut a fade, okay? And so before they even try to, reach out there and do the sales portion and tell people what you could do, they're getting up the websites, they're getting the LLC up, they're or creating space in their house, for buying furniture and all this stuff and equipment before they even start making $1 out of it. And then when nobody comes to them because no one knows about them, they say, oh, don't get into that business. That business is not going to make you any money, right? So, yeah, it's not about that. It's about going out there, seeing that you made this, $100, $50, $25, whatever it is. You made it, you seen it, and you just like, I want to make more. Yeah. I want to make more. Now you're making some money to be paying for that LLC, to be paying for the equipment, to be paying for all this stuff that's required. Even sometimes when it is certification, sometimes it requires you to have certifications and licenses. Some smart entrepreneurs just piggyback off of someone else, right? Get into the sales process, get into the business process of it, and learn from the business until they have their own certification, and now they can start, and since they know the business aspect of it, they can start their own. But the first step is doing it.
Yeah. You saying, I told you last episode, bro, you take care of the segues. You make it so easy to segue because you said the first step is doing it. Over procrastinating ties into those who soak up a lot of knowledge but don't do it. Over procrastination is like, it kills, destroys momentum. And it goes into something that my wife always says. What's up, babe? I love you. It goes into something that she always says. When you're gaining and getting all of this stuff and you're not doing anything with it, right? And I know the scripture says, in all you're getting, get understanding, right? And I know that some people are like, well, before I get into it, I want to understand what it is that I'm getting to. You know what I'm saying? I want to understand it. I don't think that you'll ever be able to fully understand something without being able to get your hands in it. I think you can understand some of it, right? You can understand up into a point where it makes you comfortable to take that first step. So if that's what
Yeah.
you're waiting for, I get that. But I would want to be eerie about that too, because sometimes that can lie to you. And you end up lying to yourself saying, oh, well, when I get this much and when I understand this much about it, then I'll do it. And then you still don't end up doing it. Right?
Well, it's like you want to lose weight. You want to go and lose weight. When is the best time to go to the gym? What you gonna do? Read books about it forever? Yeah, you want it, and watch videos and someone else doing the bench press and making sure that they got the push up stance right and everything. You just sitting there with the remote clicking and watching and reading books and then reading books about dietary and health and all that, but you're eating at McDonald's every day or Burger King every day, and it's not about the knowledge. I mean, is good, but it's the doing that. It's the doers that this world is blessed to. It's the people who do.
Yeah.
Not the people who just think about it and don't get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that could be a hindrance, man. I've talked to so many people that are like, man, I want to start this business, and I'm like, and you know me, that's a talking point that's gonna get me rambling. Not 45 minutes rambling though. Okay, it's not gonna be 45 minutes rambling without getting any feedback or having a conversation. Right, to know what's going on, so I can get a good analysis of who I'm talking to, instead of just, hey, well, no, I'm talking about, I'll tell them like, look, here's what you got to do to start your business. What kind of business is it? Oh, well, I'm in the business where I want to be in fashion. All right, well, here's a guy that can help you with fashion. Here's this websites where you can sell it. You can market it here, and there, right? And then you meet them, a month, 2 months later. Hey, did you start that fashion? No, I didn't do it yet. I'm still looking for this. I'm still looking for that. And it's just like, man, I could have easily started that business and then been successful in it, way before they can even start. It's just crazy how I don't know. I think maybe I'm from another planet. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe I was born in one of those pods or something, robots, and brought back here because it just makes sense. It seems like common sense, but it's not that common for everyone.
Yeah.
Or maybe just people just like the idea of wanting to start a business, but they don't want to actually jump out and go out and do what it takes to start the business. They rather someone do it for them, maybe. Not sure.
I think we've over romanticized, if that's even a word, being an entrepreneur or owning a business. I think it's the fantasy of it. And it's just like any other lust or fantasy that a person has. The fantasy is way more attractive than having it for real, the reality of it. Because with the reality of the fantasy comes the responsibility to maintain it, right? That's why people, and you hear about it so much, especially now with the relationship landscape being the way that it is, and people want a relationship, want to get married, and it's just like, I don't think people really do want a relationship or marriage. Now, there may be those out there that do. I'm not going to blanket that over everyone. I don't think most people do. I think it's the fantasy of it that's attractive. Because if you wanted it, really, there's things that even what you say out of your mouth and where you go and how you go about as a man, how you go about even finding a woman to make your wife. There's certain things there's a way that you behave. But it's the fantasy of it, I think. And being an entrepreneur and having your own and that responsibility of it, especially if you have a family, it's crazy, right? Because the money is not going to come in waves in the very beginning. There's going to be a lot of investment that takes a lot of sweat equity, financial equity, emotional, mental. There's a lot that's going to go into it to get that first step going, to get that momentum built up before you're able to start rolling. I was talking to a guest on the show, Christopher Ball. And he was talking about the first years of his business, and it's like pushing a boulder up a hill, a steep
Oh
hill.
yeah.
And you're pushing this boulder up this steep hill. You're pushing it. You're pushing it. Pushing it, and it's difficult. It's hard. But once you get to that top of that hill, and it goes down the other side, now that momentum is just going, and the business has kind of taken on, a life of its own, legs of its own, and now it's running. It's able to do its thing without you, being able to. Now you still may have to make sure it steers and goes on the proper path, right? But you're not having to put that much energy into it. In the very beginning, you're putting a lot into it. You're
You
putting
are.
so much into it, and you have to be willing to continue that push until. And who knows where that until is at, right? Is there a deadline for an until? I know you talk about making the money, but is there a deadline for the until it starts picking momentum up on its own?
Yeah, well, it depends on what kind of business that you're dealing with or operating with. Is it just an investment? If it's an investment, you're gonna want to know when you're gonna be getting that return on your investment. But if it's something where um, you know you're passionate about, you see that there's a desire for it in the market, and you're seeing positive results, like you're seeing money coming in, it then it doesn't stop until the money stops. You keep going. You ride the wheel, ride it till the wheels fall off. Right? Just make seriously, but just make good decisions on the way.
Yeah.
That's the. I don't think there's a until. Some people, which was a mindset of mine for a while until I learned or I talked myself into the hold method. I like going for long term, doing things for long term. But some people build businesses just to sell it, right?
Mm.
Just to get that system running, and like you're talking about,
Yeah.
getting that momentum going, where it's creating revenues, creating profit, and next thing you know, you get a call from H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt, and they're like, "Hey, we'll buy your business from you because
Yeah.
we see that you're successful and stuff like that, and we see you have a system going, and we'll even pay you royalties to stay aboard and train for a couple of years, that type of stuff." Some people do that.
What?
They build their businesses just to be able to sell it and make that lump sum,
Yeah.
um, money based off of what the value of their business is.
Yeah.
But so
That's
yeah,
dope though. I
that could
wouldn't
be
mind
their
doing that.
that could be their exit plan right there. Is
Yeah.
let's make this company so valuable that people are going to want to buy it.
Are you familiar with LeVar Ball and the Ball family, the Big Baller Brand?
No, I mean I've heard of him. He's an NBA player, but I don't watch uh, sports. Yeah, I'm weird like that,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, ever since I watched that one episode of, I forgot what it was called, but it was a halftime. I was watching an NBA game, and like it was like a halftime show, or
Uh,
they did like a segment in a halftime, and it was a segment about a referee who used to ref in the NBA, who was saying that the NBA was rigged. You know,
the ref
basically.
said that?
Yeah, yeah. And this was on ESPN. I'm here watching ESPN, and halftime comes, and they're like, "Oh, stay tuned for the show." It was about this referee who ended up he was gambling on the games in Vegas because he already knew what the outcome of the games were going to be. You get what I'm saying? Based off of the marching orders of the NBA of letting them know, like, "Hey, call every foul on Iverson today. Let Iverson
No
play."
freaking
All
way.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that type of shit. So he knew, hey, I'm gonna bet against the Sixers, and so he would bet in Vegas, and he wouldn't let them know that he was a referee though, until his bookie started asking him. He's like, "Man, how come you're winning all the time? You're winning on these NBA games." And he let it slip one time and was like, "Look, man, I'm a ref." And once he told them, he got a knock on the door by the mob, and the mob's like, all right, you're gonna have to tell us all your marching orders all the time,
No
um,
freaking
so
way.
that we could make money too, basically. And so he was caught in between a rock and a hard place of doing something illegal
Yes.
because he knew the games was fixed and he was betting on them, and having to tell the mafia. So he was like, oh man, I can go to jail for doing this, or I can die for doing that, because he was tired of helping them out. And
Wow.
you guys can check the story out. You guys can do your own research on it. I think he actually went to the feds, was in FBI custody to help them capture, or catch the mobsters who were extorting them. But if I'm not mistaken, I think he's dead now. But
Hmm.
this was on ESPN. It was just like, hey guys, while you watching the basketball game and taking a break, hey, let me let you know this news. And the referee, was telling everyone like, yeah, I was getting marching orders to make sure that Charles Barkley doesn't have a good game and this person doesn't have a good game and all this stuff. It's like, I didn't want to
Dude,
watch it after that. And then the
that's so crazy.
football's not even classified as a sport; it's an entertainment, right? So it's kind of like WWE.
It's
In other
basically the
words,
same thing.
it's all scripted, man. And
That's crazy.
I was always just an athlete. I was always involved in the sport. I
Yeah.
had my favorite players, but I was never that one guy that would just devout my whole attention to know where this guy went to high school, his stats, and all these
Yeah.
things. And you know how much brain power that is required. And some people know that down to the T,
Yeah.
but they can't manage their own checkbook. Like, what's going on?
Dude. Dude, it goes back to it goes back into what interests you or what gets you excited or what makes you motivated. Just like the question I asked you, what drives you in entrepreneurship is the same thing of what drives them. For some people,
Yeah.
that's what drives them, bro. More so than the money and having their thing. And it changes because I know what used to drive me before I got married doesn't drive me anymore. What drove me even when I first got married doesn't drive me anymore. It changes over time with your interests. You know what I'm saying? Your interest is gonna change. What excites you is gonna change as you grow and evolve as a person. But I brought
Hey,
up. Oh,
as
go
you
ahead.
become a man, you put away childish things, huh?
You have to.
You should.
For
You should.
survival. For survival, Paul.
It's just a circus to me, man. All that entertainment world, the music, the actors, the actresses, the athletes. It's like a distraction, in my opinion, they're used to control the way you think, what you think about money, what you think about finances, what you think about business. All of that is controlled on what you see over there on the TV. That's just my opinion. So I like watching movies, but I'm not too into entertainment, the sports world or anything like that.
Nah, you're right. I bought up LeVar Ball and his family because of his business, Triple B, Big Baller Brand, and their apparel, a sport apparel brand. So they
Okay.
do shirts, shoes, things of that nature. He had a Ball in the Family. He had a reality show. That's what introduced me to them.
Uh,
Ball in the Family, their reality show, and that made me a fan of the Ball family, just because
their
of
dad, right? It was their dad who's
LeVar
behind
Ball.
all that
Yeah,
management and everything.
yeah,
Smart man, very
dude.
smart man.
That's why I fell in love with their family, him and his family, because of the way that he did his business. They got so much flack. He got so much flack behind what he was doing. But when you look at what he was doing, you know, he was trying to set his family up. He was trying to set themselves up for success, for a lifetime of wealth, and prosperity. He was trying to set them up somewhere. And you can say his sons didn't have the skill. Lonzo was the first one to go to the league. You can say he didn't have skill. You can say all those type of things about them. Whatever. I don't care if you say I suck or not. I'm in the NBA. And
Get
there's a
that check.
check
Yeah.
assigned to me being in the NBA and I got it. You know what I'm saying?
And not only that, it sounds like their father was probably a good hand in their finances and teaching them how to invest that money that they were making in the NBA and transforming it into other businesses. Where a majority of these athletes and artists and people that you see on TV, they don't have that type of support. You know, a father like that understands business and entrepreneurship, and majority of them don't. So you'll see them on TV, and it looks like they're making a lot of money. But then once that check stop, they didn't make the proper investments to keep make the money make money on itself. You know, they just blow it. That's why there's a lot of entertainers and athletes that used to be making millions of dollars at their prime, but now that they're not on that world stage, they're not making any money.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have that money coming in because they're not getting that NBA check. You're supposed to get that money from your job and invest it. The NBA, them being the athlete, that's their job. The same way you may wake up and go to your 9 to 5, that athlete, even the actors, if they're not on screen, if they're not on somebody's set, they're not working. You know what I'm saying? They have to be on someone's set. That's their job. So what they do with that job, and that's why when they open up their own businesses, so they do certain things, you know, even rappers, that's their job. Them going to that label, that's their job. So then they'll take that money, they'll invest in clothing, maybe a restaurant, you know, alcohol. That seems to be the big thing that they do, you know, but that's their investment, and that's going to sustain them, you know, after the primary money is gone. But to LeVar Ball and what he did, you know, was able to establish and set up his family, being in sports. Now we see LeBron James, and the most popular thing at the moment, LeBron James getting Bronny on with the Lakers to play with his son. Now, first off, you got a guy who is at the top of his industry, right? LeBron James being in the top of his industry in sports, being able to share that court with his son. That's like the first dope thing, right? Me doing what I'm doing. You know how fire it'd be? You know what I'm saying? For me to be doing a show or something like this. 2 Chainz has a podcast as a show, and his son is on his show with him. I think his son is either the co-host or his son acts interviews or whatever like that, whatever. But you know how dope it'd be? I haven't seen it.
You've seen it?
No.
Oh.
I haven't watched it.
I wonder if his son is any good. I wonder if 2 Chainz' son is any good on that podcast.
Oh, he's entertaining. He's a kid. He's a young kid. Yeah, I've seen the shorts, but I have not watched the full episode. But his son is entertaining. His son is funny. He always cracking jokes on his dad. His son is funny.
So what you're saying is 2 Chainz' son is very talented in what he does.
Yes. He's talented. But I say that to say,
okay. You say that to what?
I say that to say, you know, me doing something like this, you know how fire it'd be, how dope it'd be if next to me was my son, you know what I'm saying, or my daughter. You know how dope it'd be for me to be able to share what I love to do, my passion, with my children, and not only share it with them, they're able to profit off of it. You know what I'm saying? That's fire because
that was his dream, right?
That's the dream.
To be able to let kids live their dream, right?
Right. So what I want to ask you is, Bronny, people say that he's not as talented as his father, which he's not, or he's not talented. He doesn't deserve. There's other players that was more talented than him. You know what I'm saying? Nepotism played a huge part in that. Nepotism is not new. Whether you have the talent or not, right? If you're a parent and you're able to put your child in a position, and they have a passion for it, because I do believe Bronny has a passion for it. Just like I believe the Ball Boys had a passion for it. Their dad had a plan or had an opportunity to be able to propel them into the league. And he did what he did best and got them into the league. And LeBron did the same thing. So why is there such a problem seeing that nepotism? I don't want to say it's a race thing in the black community, even though that's how I phrase the question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This level of nepotism in the black community. I don't want to say black, but like, what's the problem with that? Or do you even see that as a problem?
Mm. The problem I see isn't, the fact that father and son is playing. Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. used to play together, and
they played together.
Baseball. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they did.
I did not know that.
Let's say, okay, just for conversation's sake, but they did play together. Together.
Right. Right.
But let me Google that real quick.
I'm doing that right now too. So if you want to finish your thoughts, you can.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
But Ken Griffey Sr. was hitting home runs. Ken Griffey Jr. was hitting home runs. Bronny can't do anything. He's not doing anything. It's a kind of a disgrace, man, because you got people in college who play way better than him. That's the whole point I was getting at. It's scripted. Like, no way in hell did talent allow him to be on the court. It was a script because they knew it would bring attention to the sport where it's much needed. But the guy doesn't have any talent, man. Come on now. He doesn't deserve. I mean, in my opinion, all right. Now, not to say is it wrong that LeBron James got his son on the team? No. Like, he wants to play with his son. That's cool. But
yeah,
it's just a bad reflection of the game because it basically confirms what I'm saying, that it's scripted. Yeah, it's crazy. It is scripted. I mean, come on now. Like, where is it in the world you can have a rapper who didn't play? I don't know if he played college basketball or anything, but he didn't play in any type of league for years, and then all of a sudden he's playing in the NBA. Like, how does that work? Yeah. You remember that? You know which rapper I'm talking about?
Master P.
Well, how in the hell is that? How the hell that work?
They did definitely say,
people.
But P was actually.
Was he Steph Curry?
He was actually he was actually kind of decent. He was actually he played like what 3 games? I want to say he played.
He played for like one of the worst teams in the NBA to bring out sales, man.
The Sonics, right? Man. He played for the Sonics, didn't he?
I forget what it was. I forgot. I thought it was the Pelicans or something like that. Like New Orleans. It was New Orleans team, I think.
I don't think they were the Pelicans or the Hornets. Charlotte.
It was Charlotte.
He played for the Hornets. Yeah, you're right, Louisiana. So Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. played 51 games together before Ken Griffey Sr.'s 1991 season was cut short by injury.
Hitting home runs
at 41.
He was hitting home runs.
So they played 51 games together, dude.
He was hitting home runs. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, come on, you can't tell me Ken Griffey isn't one of the greats.
See,
that's what I'm saying. Like that'll be dope. Like if Stephon Curry's father, Del Curry, was playing and Stephon Curry was playing, now that's dope.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would have been dope. But from what I'm seeing, and it's sad, man. Really, to me, it's just sad at how far they're going, man, and just letting it be just so obvious that it's unreal, because mostly every clip now is a Bronny doing what? Like he became a main emphasis of the league now, right? Yeah. Outshining people who can really ball, and the guy's not doing anything. He come on now. I mean, I'm not trying to discredit him, like what he's doing is wrong for taking advantage of what is given to him. Because I'd play too if I couldn't play it, but they'd let me play, on the court. I'd do it. But to say that he matches the caliber of great players that deserve to be a spot on a bench, nah, man. That's what I don't want.
I think I think when it comes to, because we see nepotisms all over, even the owners of these organizations, right? The kids inherit, right? Trump is inherited. Even the Lakers, the owners, I forget their names, they inherited, the Lakers. Stephen Curry, when he came into the league, he wasn't the Stephen Curry we see today. Neither was Kobe, neither was Jordan. When the player enters the league, they go through that development phase. What LeBron did coming into the league, game 1, right? And averaging 20, like that is something that, we didn't see a lot of that. Shaq came in dominant, you know what I'm saying? LeBron came in dominant, and LeBron came out of high school doing that. That's insane. That's why that is like crazy. His son coming into the league, and this is what I say. Let's see if he becomes a bust. Even what I said with Lonzo, if the hype gets you there, the hype is supposed to get you there. That's the whole point of the hype. Zion Williamson did the same thing. Zion came in with the hype, ended up getting injuries and having issues with women. And, you know what I'm saying? The dude hasn't played a full season since he's been in the league yet. You know what I'm saying? But he was supposed to be the next face of the league, the next LeBron James coming in out of high school, the size that he was. Mm-hmm. So
it's not
with
the same,
Bronny,
Kobe, LeBron, and Bronny's situation is not the same. These guys were raw, natural talents that they were like, okay, they need to be developed, but they still were getting playing time. They still were doing, they still were scoring, man. They still were scoring points.
But see, not Kobe. Kobe
was playing.
When he came into the league, he was on the bench. There was the guy got injured that he was under. He got injured, and then Kobe was able to get time, but Kobe didn't come out hitting. He
was developing though. He was 18 years old. He had to learn the playbook. He had to learn the endurance of all that stuff. That's the whole point of catching them while they're young, is to help them develop. He didn't go to college. He didn't go to college. It's a totally different scenario. Kobe was a monster from the start. It's just they didn't expose him or putting him on the court, to display that feat, because he was also wild and unstoppable. He was a Michael Jordan type of basketball player where he just wanted to rock. Give me the ball, I'm gonna shoot it. Give me the ball, I'm gonna shoot it. Right. So they needed to help refine his skills, a lot more. But you can't compare. Come on now. You can't compare Bronny to Kobe to LeBron James to Zion to all these guys, because this guy is not. He's not it. He's a 55 draft pick. Okay, number 55.
Yeah, for sure.
He's playing like a 55 draft pick.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. Even with
you should get no starting time.
No court time. No, he's definitely not a starter.
You shouldn't even get a jersey, dude.
Definitely not a starter. Definitely keep him coming off the bench. It goes back to even what's the guy that plays on the Greek Freak, man? Man. Long last name, man. But anyways, he has his brothers on the team. He plays for the Bucks. Excuse me. He plays for the Bucks. And he has his brothers on the team. Dude, what is his name, bro? His brothers are not good at all. But his brother is on the team. You know what I'm saying? He's on the bench. What is his name, dude? Let me see. The Bucks, bro.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Giannis.
But Giannis. I don't watch NBA anymore, man.
Antetokounmpo, whatever. Giannis Antetokounmpo, that's his name.
We got our uncles, we got our brothers, we got our sons, everybody in the family playing. Right? Come on.
Get in. Oksana, she said legacy. They hated on LeVar. They did in establishing a legacy. All this, what we're talking about, and I'm using these sports and these athletes I'm using their story. What they're doing, what they're working on, and what they're cementing is legacy. When it comes to being an entrepreneur, business owner, Paul Renee, what I'm doing, as you can see behind my brother Paul, Tax Money 123. Behind me, we got Tatamy Network. What we're working on is establishing our legacy, something that we're going to be able to hand over to our children. And if we can, like I told my younger brother when I was getting into the streaming space and him being an affiliate streamer with Twitch, I said, what you've learned, your ceiling is now becomes my floor, and me getting into the Twitch and streaming space because of what you learned. Your children, Paul, my children are going to be able to stand on our ceiling and let that be their floor. You don't get to establish legacy in your passion vein, whether that's whatever that is, a service or product based, being an entrepreneur, a business owner, if you do not take that first step. Procrastination can't stop you from taking that first step. And the first rule when it comes to being in this space, make money. So find a way to take your passion and turn that into profit. That's what Beyond the Hustle is all about. I just gave us our outro, bro.
There we go.
That was just
Daniel, I got to take another hit of this cigar, all right? Because it's the third episode. We made it in the third episode.
3.
I got my yo, that's a big deal for us. Yeah. Maestro. For real, man.
Dude, that's episode 3, man. And I appreciate y'all for rocking with us and hanging out with us, man. We're back every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. The YouTube is in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Catch us live there. And we're also going to be getting on IG. I got to get us on IG so we're able to go live on that too as well. Facebook, YouTube.
It's easy to find us, man. It's easy to find us. All right.
Yeah.
Book a session. All right. We're here to help. If you got any inquiries about what it takes to be an entrepreneur, any tax, real estate questions, please feel free to hit me up. All right. And if you need your business marketed, Daniel's the man. Videography, logos, everything it takes. That's the maestro right there.
Man, everything in between.
Dude, it got to the point, Daniel, with your production. You had television networks hitting us up, man. Our third episode. Come on, man. What you doing? If you can do that for us, man, oh my goodness, they need to hit you up to get their podcasts and businesses started, man. Straight up. Salute to you, my brother. Salute to you. Straight up.
I appreciate it, man. This is what we do. I'm Daniel Tatamy. That's Paul Renee Jr. This is Beyond the Hustle podcast. We thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time. All right, enjoy y'all night.